So Edvig and myself are actually working and dedicating a significant amount of time on side projects that are quite scalable and have very robust revenue models. Therefore, when we were discussing about the idea to implement today, we wanted actually to focus on something very simple, pragmatic, but super effective and useful. And therefore, we didn't put at the center of this solution the necessity to have a revenue model, which we still believe can be developed, but more the actual immediate impact that such a solution can have. Specifically, right now, we strongly believe there is a necessity for European funders or project developers to identify a tech stack, so the combination of all the tech solutions you need to develop a project, an app, a platform, that is European-based, that is exposed as little as possible to US companies, basically. So we have created a lovable type of solution, very, very user-friendly, where anyone who has a project, an app, or a platform who wants to develop can describe textually the solution in the chatbot, basically, and then define the key requirements, specifically in terms of cost, compatibility of all of the entire tech stack, and exposure to US companies. By defining these key requirements, then the model in the backend that has been trained on a data set we have built is able to describe what is the ideal tech stack for the user for your specific app you're trying to develop. So I can show you an example of prompt we have prepared where we describe a very specific solution the user would like to develop with the relative requirements. Then we send the request to the model in the backend. Now it's a bit, I wouldn't call it slow, but very granular in the analysis, let's say, because of the requests we have. But then it's going to come up with some follow-up questions. I don't know if you have already used Cursor. In the plan mode, often the model has some follow-up questions just to clarify and refine the final output. In these final questions, again, I was saying the model is trying to clarify to what level you want to optimize your tech stack in terms of cost, compatibility of all the tools, like for emails, cloud services, password protection, and so forth, and then the level of sovereignty or geopolitical protection, if you want. So here, as an example, I say a very flexible cost optimization level. So we want ideally to actually optimize quality over cost. Then we consider relatively important the compatibility, and finally it's critical to have 100% EU exposure. Then we ask to the model to generate the full stack, and the final output is going to be a table that shows you the comparison to the traditional American-based tech stack versus the most ideal solution for your requirements, and then a comparison with alternative solutions where other variables are optimized, such as the cost or the compatibility level. And then you see a bunch of details related to the alternatives provided. And finally, you have the possibility to download a .md file here that you can send to Cursor to start to build your solution. So basically, the idea would be that with this app, you can start, it's the starting point to develop your EU type of solution. And then from there, you get started with Cursor or even Lovable, but probably Cursor or Cloud Code would be more ideal.
And I think there's a couple other kind of important things, which is one thing is if you just have a concept and you don't know what kind of US stack you would use, you can just give a bit of a description of what you want to develop and you get the EU-based tech stack recommended. But you can also input if you, for instance, think of using AWS Cloud or another kind of super base database provider from the US. You can also ask specifically, do you have an alternative for this tech component? And then it will give the EU kind of version of it, essentially. So it can be either a concept or it can be a very specific kind of tech solution already. And then there's links to all of the actual tech stacks, so it's interactive and you can actually see, okay, what is the solution? Yeah.
Yes, we need another picture.
Yeah.
Very nice. I like that it's also showing, it's not ignoring only the tick boxes you did, but it's also showing the traditional, the cost and compatibility, because you might say, hey, it's recommending this, but actually I already use CockroachDB as an example, right? And I like that. The waiting time, I don't think that's quite a lot. Well, I'm not sure with this particular prompt, it was 4 seconds, so it's very understandable, so I don't think that would be an issue for you, or don't think about it too much. And everybody who is going to actually make a prompt and go through this will be used to development process and compiling and waiting, so I don't think, I like that it's very simple. The financial thing, you already thought about it, and you're more want the impact currently, which is really good. You're clearly, you have also your target audience. For me, as an individual, it's not really, for the general population, it's not really something that I can use, right? It's only for specific programmer or developers that are looking into moving from traditional. Is that correct?
Well, yeah, so we've based it on developers,
Yeah.
as you say, founders that maybe want to use a EU-based kind of tax stack in terms of EU sovereignty, whether it's for geopolitical reasons, for data privacy reasons, or for any other reason it may be. But I suppose in general as well, if you're just interested, right, to learn about the EU tech stack, you can do it that way. But yeah, we made it for founders.
And maybe Matteo can come in with his price comparison. That would be a good thing about as well to show, like, you know, MongoDB monthly or yearly is this, PostG, REST. I don't know how it works with open source as well, if they are.
Well, open source is free.
Yeah. So, but for Crunch, an example, that I can imagine that there is a cost attached to it, and maybe under the traditional recommended cost optimize, you can also have the difference.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, I know you say cost optimize, but if you don't show how much it costs, how would I know? Or maybe depending on your testing, you might see that actually cost optimize is not cost optimize. It's just because it picked monthly rather than yearly.
Yeah, of course.
Or you need some extremely cybersecurity, whatever, I don't know, API or sorry. But I like it. It's very clean. I like the GDPR compliant, the data set. I like the nice touches of it. Have you tested where it doesn't give any results, or there is no EU alternatives? Have you received that?
Not really.
No.
Not really. I mean, we were aware that, for example, would be, and we didn't implement that part in the stack, would be complex to provide alternatives such as Cursor. That is what we use to develop the solution.
I see.
But, like, for example, there are alternatives when it comes to large language models, like Mistral or others. So far, actually, we didn't. But of course, maybe if you go more into the details, the niche or granular aspects, then probably yes.
What about? I know the main point of this. It's called Europa, which is about EU, and it's mostly the impact of what's happening with the US. But have you thought about China or Middle East or Africa? Well, maybe again, I'm not a developer, so I don't know if there is tools in Australia or Japan that you could also use rather than.
So there's actually in the database there are some Australian-based solutions that are created, but they're EU operated essentially. Okay. So it's like a scale in terms of, and that's why we also have the EU kind of focus as a option to choose, because you can have it fully EU founded, EU operated, EU local, kind of localized. You can also have Australian made, but EU operated.
Okay. So
it's from kind of like in terms of supply chain and value chain, it's still EU secure.
I was more meaning about the EU versus US, EU versus Australia.
Yeah, it's more like it's more like that. I would say the very vast majority is US based, right? And also it's the kind of gold standard. So that's the reason why you take the US as comparison, and then the idea is to make yourself as much as independent.
Okay.
I really like the China kind of aspect as well, because that's something we see very often, especially in terms of security. If it's something that's China produced or from China procured or whatever, like it's out of the question. Exactly. So that's absolutely something to accommodate. Yeah.
Time up.
I have a quickly about.
Oh, you have it.
I think in the beginning, so you had to, in order to get that result, you had to put in this big prompt.
Yeah, we tried with much shorter prompts.
And it works well.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was about to say, because you can be 100%, 90% of people will not do that.
Yeah.
Makes sense, because most people,
of
they
course.
are,
But
they're
it's like with the
they're idiots.
it's the more detailed you are, but yet structured.
Yeah, exactly.
The better.
Yeah, so I just think maybe in the beginning, instead of just this more, we can say a blank chat window, try to think about how you can make it more user friendly.
Yeah.
So it just becomes easier to do, because you just mentioned like 3 different things you could do. So